I can feel it in my spirit that something amazing is happening for you right now, or it's about to unfold in a way that will leave you in awe. You've been sensing it too, haven't you? Even when the world around you couldn't see it, even when the path ahead seemed shrouded in uncertainty, there's been a quiet stirring in your soul. Deep down, beneath the doubts and the waiting, you've always known that God has a plan for your life, a purpose so specific, so tailored to you, that it could only come from His hands. You've been walking this journey with a steady faith, listening for His whispers, preparing your heart, and trusting that one day, everything would align. And now, that moment is drawing near. The pieces are falling into place, and the promises you've held on to are beginning to take shape. But hear me when I say this. Don't say a word to anyone just yet. I know how tempting it is to share the good news bubbling up inside you. It's human nature, isn't it? When blessings start to flow, when the tide finally turns in your favor, you want to shout it from the rooftops. You want to call your closest friends, gather your family, and let the world know that your time has come. After all, you've worked tirelessly for this. You've sacrificed, you've prayed, you've pushed through moments of despair that no one else could fully understand. You deserve to revel in the excitement, to let your joy spill over and light up the lives of those around you. But here's the thing, sometimes, sharing your victories too soon can invite shadows you didn't anticipate. It can open the door to doubts, negativity, and even envy from the very people you thought would celebrate with you. And trust me, there are people in your circle, perhaps closer than you'd like to admit, who might not be as thrilled about your success as you expect. That's a hard truth to swallow, I know. It stings to consider that the ones you love, the ones you've poured your heart into, might not be cheering as loudly as you'd hoped. You've felt it before, haven't you? You've experienced those moments when you shared your dreams or your progress, only to be met with lukewarm responses, subtle skepticism, or a shift in energy that left you questioning. Maybe it was a friend who brushed off your excitement with a casual remark, or a family member whose silence spoke louder than words. Perhaps you've even sensed a flicker of jealousy, nothing overt, just a quiet undercurrent that made you wonder why their joy didn't match yours. It's painful to realize that some people might not be rooting for you as wholeheartedly as you assumed. Worse still, there may be those who, deep down, wish they could claim your blessings for themselves or see you falter so they feel less small in their own struggles. That's the raw, unfiltered truth. But here's where the beauty of this moment comes in. God has given you eyes to see it. He's pulling back the curtain, revealing the hearts of those around you, not to hurt you, but to protect you. This isn't about paranoia or distrust. It's about discernment, a gift He's been cultivating in you through every trial and triumph. You're learning to see beyond the smiles and the words, to recognize the intentions that lie beneath. It's a blessing, even if it feels heavy right now. Because with this clarity, you can set boundaries that safeguard your spirit. You can guard your peace against the noise of negativity or the weight of unspoken resentment. Sometimes, the hardest boundaries to draw are with the people we hold dearest, those we've laughed with, cried with, and leaned on. But God is teaching you strength, the kind that stands firm even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means walking alone for a season. So, with that wisdom in your hands, move in silence. Hold your excitement close, cradle your plans and victories like a treasure meant only for you and God right now. Whether it's the new job you've been praying for, the home you've dreamed of, the relationship that's finally blossoming, or the opportunity that's knocking at your door, whatever it is, resist the urge to broadcast it just yet. What's meant for you is secure in God's hands. No one can steal it, no force can uproot it. But it can be delayed by the doubts others plant, by the envy that festers in quiet corners, by the chatter that distracts you from your focus. You've already walked through enough delays, haven't you? You've felt the frustration of setbacks, the sting of plans unraveling just when they seemed within reach. You've wondered why the road had to twist so often, why the breakthroughs took so long. But here's the good news that should set your heart ablaze. Those delays are over. You're standing on the edge of your breakthrough, and it's yours to claim. All that's left is to protect it. You're stepping into a season of divine elevation, a chapter where God's favor shines so brightly it will leave no room for doubt. You've been obedient through the storms. You've walked through tests that would have broken others, trials that carved resilience into your bones. You've put in the work, day after day, prayer after prayer, and you've stayed faithful even when the skies were dark. Because of that, God is swinging doors wide open for you. He's preparing blessings so abundant, so perfectly timed, that they'll take your breath away. But for now, let them unfold in the quiet. Don't rush to invite others in. Don't feel the need to explain or announce. Wait for God's signal, that moment when He says, "Now let the world see what I've done." Until then, let this be your sacred space, a sanctuary where His promises take root. And as you step into the season, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. It's more than a click. It's a vote of encouragement, a way to say you believe in this message and want to see it spread. Together, we can build a community rooted in faith and upliftment. Will you subscribe and let's walk in abundance together? There's a profound power in silence. It's in the stillness that God moves most mightily, weaving miracles you can't yet see. In this quiet, you're shielded from the naysayers who'd question your worth, from the skeptics who diminish your dreams, from the voices that don't align with His will. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. It's trust in a God who doesn't need fanfare to work wonders. And when He's ready, when the timing is perfect, He'll unveil what He's been building in you. It will be undeniable, a testament so bold, so radiant, that no one will be able to dispute His hand in your life. Imagine that moment, the looks of awe, the whispers of wonder, the realization that what God has done for you could only come from Him. That's what's waiting on the other side of the season. I know it's not easy. Holding back feels counterintuitive when your heart is bursting, when every fiber of you wants to tell someone, anyone, about the hope surging through you. You've waited so long for this shift, endured so many nights of wondering if change would ever come. It's only natural to want to release that tension, to let your joy spill out like a river breaking free. But this time is different. This time, your silence is your armor. This time, your patience will amplify the sweetness of the victory when it's finally revealed. You've earned this quiet season of protection, this space where your blessings can grow undisturbed. What's coming is yours alone to nurture for now, yours and God's. Trust that when the moment is right, He'll fling the gates wide, and the world will witness the fullness of His glory in you. You've come so far, and I know the journey hasn't been gentle. There were days when the weight felt unbearable, when loneliness crept in like a thief, when you questioned if you'd misheard God's voice. You faced rejection, disappointment, and moments of self-doubt that tested your resolve. But you didn't surrender. You kept walking, even when the path was steep, even when your strength waned. You clung to faith when it would have been easier to let go, and that resilience has brought you here, to the cusp of something extraordinary. God sees every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every prayer you've whispered in the dark. And now, He's rewarding you for your heart, your endurance, your unwavering trust. This is your moment, but it's one to guard fiercely. Protect your dreams like a flame in the wind. Shield your opportunities from the clamor of the world. Keep them tucked away, a secret between you and the one who crafted them. When God deems it time, those doors will burst open, and what spills out will be a blessing so pure, so powerful, that it could only come from heaven. Until then, lean into the silence. Trust His timing, which has never failed you yet. And if this message is speaking to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. You're not alone in this. God walks with you, steadying your steps, lighting your way. And within you burns a strength forged through every trial you've overcome. You've got this. You've always had it. You've fought for this moment, and now God is bringing it to life. Let Him work in the quiet and watch how beautifully every detail falls into place. I'm praying for you, believing in you, and cheering you on with every fiber of my being. You're entering a season of blessings that nothing can derail. Keep pressing forward with confidence. Your greatest days are just ahead, and the best is yet to come. Subscribe if you feel led, and let's journey together into all that God has in store.